Good morning, folks, and how are you doing? I'm really glad to have you guys here. Welcome to your market report. So today is Wednesday, May 30th, 2018, and let's get the report started by opening the charts right here. The first thing we're going to look at is the silver price. $16.42. It's up 9 cents. Now, it's riding right in the middle of its tight little range that's been riding in for quite a while. This is the lower range. There's actually two ranges right now. One range is up around 1720, and the lower range is down around 1640, somewhere in around there. And we've been riding in the lower range for so long right here. We've been consolidating. It's making me think that it is getting ready for a huge breakout, and the breakout is going to be absolutely huge. This thing is like a compressed spring. Just like it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge when it breaks out. So now let's take a look at cryptocurrency. Bitstamp 74.88 this morning. Bitstamp is actually having a very not Bitstamp, but Bitcoin is actually having a very hard time staying up in the 7,000s and not going down into the 6,000s. Honestly, it's having a very hard time right now. Bitcoin is it's in the process of trying to make bottoms. It's trying to find a bottom. But I think the bottom could be lower yet. That's my opinion on it. Don't count that as financial advice, but Bitcoin actually, at a certain point, she'll finish her bottoming process. And what's happening is picture Bitcoin like the way a plant grows. A plant has to put out a root base before it can grow upwards. Now, the top side of the plant's the visible side of the plant. That's what you see, but you don't see the roots underneath the ground. They're putting out roots. Cryptocurrencies are putting out roots. All of them are. And what you see is the visible cryptocurrency above the ground, the price and whatnot. That's the visible part, like the visible part of the plant. But they're putting out a root base, and when they get ready to grow, they're going to grow big at a certain time. People are getting more familiar with them. They're in the this is the early stages for cryptocurrency. Now, let's take a look at bonds. The bonds they were buying the bonds like crazy, and today bond prices, the yields are rising again. And the reason why these yields are going to continue to recoil, they push them down and then they recoil back. The reason why is because of what the Fed's doing. What the Fed's doing is going to continue to drive these yields up ultimately. It can't go anywhere else because the Fed's going to keep dumping bonds on the market. Until these buyers are saturated. I'll tell you who's going to win. If these buyers are out there and they're buying the bonds like yesterday, bought the bonds like crazy yesterday, right? Let's see them buy $4.5 trillion worth. Who do you think is going to win? The Fed's selling $4.5 trillion worth. Does this go through the head of any of these bond buyers? Why don't they wait? They're going to get a better price. Simple as that. Hold their money. You're going to get a better. But money right now is in search of a home. Greg Mannarino yesterday, he said something that I totally agree with. He said that if they can hold these bond prices like the 10-year back, he said, I think, what did he say the mark was? It's about 3.1%. If they can hold it under that, he said that the money will start to move back into the stock market. I think he's correct about that. But the big caveat to that is if they can hold it under 3.1% on the U.S. 10-year. And I don't think they're going to be able to hold it back at a certain point. Now, okay, we've had a little bit of relief here. We've had a relief rally. And they've driven it, what was it this morning? 2.842% on the 10-year, but she's climbing. And she's going to be climbing, and the reason why is The Fed's selling $4.5 trillion. Do we have any $4.5 trillion buyers out there? Do I hear any? Where are you? 4.5 trillion buyers? If we have a 4.5 trillion buyer in bonds, then okay, I can see these bond prices staying low, the yields staying low. But I'm going to tell you what, these yields are going to go up because they got $4.5 trillion to sell. And that's what their plan is. Their plan is to sell them all. $50 billion a month soon they're going to be selling. And they'll keep that continuously. Once they get it there, they're going to keep it continuously. Every month, $50 billion worth they're going to be dumping into the market. This is going to draw liquidity out of the system. Oh, I can't begin to tell you how much liquidity is going to draw out of the system and what that's going to ultimately do. Once they get it to $50 billion a month, we're going to start to see a profound effect on the economy. This is absolute foolishness, and it will not continue. But the effect, one of the biggest effects is going to be on the bond market. And so this right here, this relief rally, is going to be short-lived in the bond market. Now, let's move on to the stock market. The stock market, she's up today 162 points. This is no surprise to me whatsoever. But here's the thing. Europe is in big trouble right now, but it's still simmering. And because it's still simmering, in other words, it has the pot hasn't exploded yet. Because of that, we're not seeing the effects yet. Yesterday was nervousness and jitters in the market. Now today we got them buying on the dip. You know, so this doesn't surprise me whatsoever, the fact that it's up 162 points today. But this does not make the trouble go away in Europe. The trouble's still there. It's festering. It's going to explode if they can't do something. Now, I think they will be able to do something in Italy. And the reason why is out of pure desperation, they will step in Italy, even though they'll step into the breach and they'll do whatever it takes, as Mario Draghi says. Now let's take a look at the oil price. We see a little bounce today, 40 cents, but it's still not back up to near its highs. Its highs was 72.48 on sweet light crude oil futures. Right now it's 67.13, and so that's going to be a little bit of a break at the pumps. We've been seeing the price at the pumps creep upwards and upwards, and we're going to get a little bit of a backward movement in the price at the pump, but not that much. It's maybe a few pennies is all per gallon in the United States and per liter in here in Canada. Cryptocurrency market capitalizations. Oh, well, I should have done this when I was doing Bitcoin, talked about the market capitalizations, but we're here now, and we've got green numbers mostly across the board. Okay, some of the biggest movers here, Bitcoin Cash moved quite a bit at $1,016. EOS moved a little bit, 3% at $12.31. Let me see if there's any other big. Oh, IOTA. IOTA made quite a big move of over 6%, 6.62%. It's up to $1.62. Now let's see if there's any that moved the opposite direction. Tron moved in the negative, 3% down, 3.41% down at 6 cents each, 6.27 cents each. Who else moved in a negative direction? Monero, $159.61. It moved down 3%. If you're into these coins, these top coins, say the top 15 coins, what you watch for is you watch for coins that have just made a recent fall in price. And you don't go buying into a coin that just took a big jack up in price, a big hike in price, like Cardano right now. You wouldn't want to buy that. It's up 7% today. Wait until it's down 7%. That's when to buy that. And if you count the spread between up and down, you got over 14% there, difference in price, what you're paying. Why pay more for something if you can get it for less? U.S. dollar index here today. She's down 46 cents. 0.48%. Down 0.46 of 1 point, 46 basis points today. The dollar index, 94.37 today on the U.S. dollar index. So we got an awful lot of problems in the world right now, especially in Europe. Deutsche Bank, we got to go see Deutsche Bank. Deutsche Bank stock. Let's pull it up here. We got some idiot buyers coming in today. She's up a little bit. She's 9.8 yesterday. Not up much, but we got some idiot buyers coming in here who, what must be going through their mind is they're absolutely certain that that the government's going to come in and rescue Deutsche Bank at a certain point, because I mean they can't be so stupid to think that she's not going to continue to fall to where she gets in trouble, because that's the trend. Let's take a look at the trend. If we go to 1 year, let's take a look at the trend. The trend is down, 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 down. That's the trend. So I mean that's obvious. That's going to strike you right in the face as soon as you look at this, that the trend is downwards, and ultimately she's going to get in trouble. Deutsche Bank's heading for trouble. Now the thing is why are they buying it then? If that's the trend down toward trouble, why are they buying it? Because they think that when she gets in trouble, the government's going to come in and rescue it, and then the stock prices are going to go up, and that they're going to make a lot of money. And so they're thinking, okay, buy in now, and make a little bit of money profit off of this, because that's what happened last time. And they're also, these guys, a lot of them that are buying in, they're used to buying in on dips on everything, like the stock market. When it goes down, they buy on the dip. This is a psychological thing. You buy on the dip, and then it goes back up again, and you make money. And this is what you tend to think about Deutsche Bank. You tend to think, hey, you know what? Deutsche Bank's down right now. Good time to buy. You know? I don't think so with Deutsche Bank. I don't think they're going to save Deutsche Bank. I think they're going to let Deutsche Bank go into receivership. It's my opinion, but I think it's true. I think they're going to let Deutsche Bank go into receivership, and all of that $45 trillion worth of nominal derivatives, an awful lot of those, they basically, what they do is they're bets against one another. And they, for the most part, cancel each other out. So even though it's nominally $45 trillion, ultimately, when you boil it all down, it's probably more like 15 billion or something like that, you know, maybe 20 billion when you boil it all down, the essence of it, you know, when after they've collide, the derivatives collide, it's probably like maybe 20 billion or something. And so what'll happen is when she goes down, that 20 billion or so is going to cause a tremendous upset to the financial system. It's going to be a Lehman moment, maybe worse than Lehman. And because the system is so unstable right now, it could start this shock event I've been talking about for a long time. But it's not going to be the end of the world. Why I say I think they're going to let Deutsche Bank go down is because who's going to step into the breach to save this behemoth? This is like a giant fat man in the middle of the swimming pool, you know, and you got the lifeguard, and if the lifeguard goes in to save him, he's going to drag the lifeguard under and drown the lifeguard too, because he weighs 400 pounds and the lifeguard only weighs 150, you know. You know what I mean? And so he's splashing around in this pool, and he's going to sink. And these guys are actually so stupid as they're actually buying this stock. They're sending the stock price up today from 9.8 euro to 9.89. They're not sending it up a lot, but that's because there's not that many stupid guys out there that are buying it. But there's a few. There's a few today, and they're trying to rally the stock. They're trying to. They're not rallying it that much, but it's probably going to start going down, maybe even later today. I see it as a losing proposition don't buy Deutsche Bank, honest to God. Uh, there is a chance that the government might step in and rescue it, and they might make money. But I think that chance is only about 10%, right? And so you're going to risk your money losing all. Because when Deutsche Bank goes into receivership, you'll lose all of the money you spend on that stock. So you risk losing 100%, and your upside potential is only 10%. That sounds like a fair trade? No, I don't think so. I think that's a very poor percentage. I mean, about a 10% chance of winning on that. Uh, you know, and if they do win, what are they going to do? Double their money? Yeah, okay. So you can double your money, and there's only a 10% chance of doubling your money. That's not a good bet. Anyway, listen, thank you guys for listening. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye-bye.